Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome to episode 164 of the FAB and Fearless Business Booster Shot Show. My name is Yinka. I'm a business strategist, a coach, a speaker, and an incoming author. And I support women to create wealth in and through their businesses by helping them to focus on what matters most for the business, which is cash flow and strategy, and what matters most for the business owner, which is mindset and habits. And it's my pleasure and privilege to welcome you to this 164th episode of the Booster Shot Show, where each week at 1:30 p.m. UK time on a Wednesday, I come to you with a short, sharp shot to boost both you and your business with one powerful truth and one actionable tip. So if you can see and hear me over on my LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube socials, feel free to jump into the chat, come and say hello and let me know that the tech is not teching and you can actually see and hear me as we begin to talk on today's topic, which is the truth about doubt. If you can see and hear me, let me know how you are doing today on a scale of 1 to 10. Right now, I cannot see many of the comments. So I'm just going to check on my phone, my trusty phone, to ensure that I am indeed live streaming. And in the interim, I'd love to know who is in the spaces today. I'm really excited to share more on the topic at hand, which is the truth about doubt. It's been a bit of an audacious August. Lots of movement, lots of fun, kiddos doing what kids do. And we're coming to the end of the summer, and I really wanted to share just a few insights on doubt because it is something that creeps a little into the spaces as we are getting ready for the September surge. There's a very much a back to school kind of feel around September and those periods. And so I wanted to share a bit about doubt because we live in a society that really does celebrate doubt in a way that I don't think is 100% helpful. So I wanted to take the opportunity to share some insights from my research today and to really give you the opportunity to come in and reflect with me on what is definitely a part and parcel of life as it relates to running a business, creating success, moving forward towards your goals. Yay! I can see me over on Facebook so that I know I am live there. Excited to see that. I just need to check LinkedIn and YouTube. If you can see me and hear me, ladies and gents, unfortunately, comments are not coming through at the moment. So I just want to check that everything is good, and then I will share more about doubt. But ahead of that, feel free to jump into the chat. Let me know how you are doing on a scale of 1 to 10, and we can definitely have a little party. Let the algorithms know that there's definitely something worth finding out about over here in this little corner of the platform. So I am seeing, hi, Nick. Thank you so much for joining. I was worried I was talking to myself for a moment. Hello, fabulous Sonia. Lovely to see you. Awesome lady. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, cool. I can see that I am not alone. So ladies, let's talk doubt. The first thing I want to ask you, whenever I want to talk about something, hey, Peter, lovely to see you. Thank you so much. Okay, so before I go on the topic, come in. Let me know how you're doing. Sonia is at an 8. Nick, how are you doing? Peter, let me know on a scale of 1 to 10 how you are doing today. 10 is, wow, Yinka, things are amazing and couldn't be any better. 1 is, Yinka, things could not be any worse. Hi, Areti, lovely to have you here. Thank you so much. Let me know how you're doing. And then tag a friend, tag an incredible woman in business that you think does amazing things in the world and would definitely benefit from hearing this message and definitely putting more cash in the bank. Right, so doubt. Doubt is such a huge part of our lives for those of us who choose to build businesses, careers, and create success. And the thing is, it is really important to understand what doubt is and what doubt isn't, because you will be surprised how many, I mean, you may not be surprised, but how many people actually are ruled by their doubts. They are ruled by those feelings of uncertainty or lack of conviction, and which is the dictionary definition of doubt. And so the first thing I want to ask you, just in terms of the definition of doubt that I've just shared with you, thank you so much for sharing your scores. I see 7s, I see 8s, and it is my intention to make sure that I give real powerful insights to continue to build on that score for you today. So the first thing I want to ask you is, have you experienced doubt today? In any format. If doubt is a feeling of uncertainty or a lack of conviction, have you experienced that today? Hey, Daniela, thank you so much for joining me over on Facebook. Have you experienced doubts today? Have you had something where you were like, I'm not quite sure, or that doesn't make sense, I am lacking in conviction on this, or this, I am not 100% certain on this? Let me know in the chat if you have experienced doubt today. And the reason I want to, first of all, reflect on this is because doubt is very much a part of the human experience. It is part of our lives. It is something that is just a feature of being a human and doing work and making progress. So thank you, Daniela. You've said yes. Areti, you have said yes. I hope you are, I'm saying your name correctly, Areti. Nick, yes, she's also experienced doubt today. And I want to say that I've also experienced doubt today. I am not leaving you hanging. I want you to understand that doubt is a normal part of life. Why? Because part of life is growth. And growth is expansion, and expansion can bring uncertainty. And the minute you are faced with uncertainty, your brain needs to understand what to do with it. And one of the things that it loves to do with it is to cause you to doubt. And so part of the reason why I asked you this question, and I hope that you can see the answers from everyone else, is so that you know that everyone experiences doubt, that it isn't just you, that where we can live in a world where everyone is showing their Instagram highlights of a life, and you are faced with the real lights of your own life, it can look like everyone else is so sure. And you are worried because you are not. And what I want you to know is everybody who has at least been honest enough to respond to my question on this live stream, and me, for someone who comes across as incredibly sure in many different spaces, we've absolutely experienced doubt today. Now, the reason why I wanted you to know that is, in the first instance, doubt is not a problem. It is simply a phenomenon. It is something that gives us some indications about some informations. But the thing I want you to understand is doubt is it's I was going to say it's a feeling, but I found a better way of describing it, which I think is really, really powerful. So in doing my research, I found that doubt is like the cognitive layer, where fear is the emotional substrate. So what that means is, whenever we are feeling or thinking doubt, what often underlies that is some form of emotional fear. Does that make sense? Is that landing for you? Can you see that doubt is often how, or one of the ways that we translate our fear? And it's really important that we have an understanding of the nature of doubt and how it works. Areti said, what about disappointment from doubt? From the doubt. I'm going to talk a little bit about that, I think, in just a moment, because this is the reason why I wanted to have this conversation, because so many people are ruled by their doubt. And part of the reason why they're ruled by their doubt is because they don't really understand all of what it gets to be I am definitely minded that we have incredible power as human beings to change our perspective, to up level our thinking, and to view things in a different way. And therefore, we get to use doubt to our advantage instead of allowing doubt to stop us from moving forward. And so, for me, one of the things I wanted to have a better understanding of is why we are so obsessed with feelings of doubt and why we're so obsessed to follow them, why we're so obsessed to be led by them. And one of the things that I discovered is we live in a cynical society where doubt and cynicism is aligned or makes us believe that that person is intelligent. You know, the cynic is an intellectual. That's the social messaging that we receive when it comes to doubt. The person with faith is an idiot, and the person who is cynical is intellectual. We are often, hi Charmaine, lovely to see you. Hi Jackie, welcome. We're often taught to believe that the cynic is an intellectual person, is someone who's thought about all the angles. And so they are, the person who has, a really good understanding of what's going on. And so the fact is that their doubt is helpful and powerful. And so cynicism is mistaken for intellectual sophistication. And particularly when it comes to women, doubt and cynicism offer that social safety. Why? Because as women in the society that we live in, we face higher social penalty when we make what is perceived as a mistake. So when, as women, we take a risk, we do something and it doesn't pay off, if we were a guy, or that the narrative is often, well, stuff happens, it's very unfortunate. Oh dear, he will sort it out. But for women, the narrative is very much around the how could she do that? How could she be so stupid? Why would she make that decision? So there is a much higher social penalty for women, which means that it feels more risky to take a risk. Let me know in the chat if you have experienced that, if you know that to be true, if you've had experienced that in your own story or experience. See, the fact is that risk is risk, and all success requires a form of risk. And yet, we are also battling the social language and messaging around risk taking. And because as women, we are met with a lot less grace, we're met with a lot less support, the safer option often seems to just do nothing at all. And so what I want to offer you is a reminder that we conflate doubt and cynicism with intellectual sophistication when the two don't actually go together. Doubt isn't the thing that is keeping us safe. What it is often doing is it's the thing that's keeping us stuck. Because the fact is that absolutely nobody knows the future. And we forget that. When times are good, it seems as though we know exactly what's going to happen and everything is great. When things are bad, we're like, oh my gosh, everything is up in the air. But the thing is, not a single person on this planet has a crystal ball. So the future is always uncertain, and the future is always as uncertain as it is uncertain. Yes, we can spot patterns. Yes, we can see how things have gone in the past. But past doesn't equal future, and it never has. And so the idea that doubt makes us feel safer is really, really important for us to remember, because it is literally just a feeling. You are no more safe in doubt than you are in faith. Hi, Cleona, lovely to have you here. Cleona has said in her comment, interesting, I'm thinking of this in terms of job seeking right now. I love that. Feel free to share more, Cleona. I'd love to hear more about what you're thinking about this. The thing is, ladies and gents, the thing that has really shifted my own experience and thinking around this question of doubt is doubt feels really certain. It's interesting because we meet uncertainty, we have doubt, and doubt makes us feel more certain. But doubt is just a belief. Doubt is a belief in a certain outcome. And faith is a belief in an opposite outcome or a different outcome or a better outcome. But they're both just beliefs. I doubt this is going to work sounds really sensible and really clever, except when you realize that you have no way of knowing for sure if that's actually true. And so if doubt is a belief and faith is a belief, then what do you choose to believe? And I know that, as I said that, I made it sound really simple. It is not my intention, and yet it is my intention. Because what we need to get to grips with is how much we default to doubt. We default to cynicism. We default to the negative outcome. Why? Because it feels safer to do so. But the challenge with that is what you think about, you bring about. And so if you constantly think in doubt, you constantly bring it about. No, I'm not a rapper. It's all rhyming by itself today. What you think about, you bring about. Energy flows where attention goes. Call it whatever you like. But know that your focus and energetic alignment with doubt brings all of that outcome into play. I love what Charmaine has said here. Fear linked to doubt leads to the default of doing everything other than what I'm meant to be doing. I really want to thank you for sharing that, Charmaine, because you're absolutely right. Because there is a certain level of feeling about doubt, it feels certain even though it's not. It just causes such a level of distraction. And I was like, I'm not about that life. I really need to make sure that we use doubt to our advantage. Why? Because the one powerful truth I want to remind you of today is doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. There are so many things that you have to do that you won't even start because of your doubts. And I love, in doing this research, I love a quote by, that particular quote was by Susie Casson, who's an Egyptian-American writer and poet. And this particular quote that I discovered from Bertrand Russell just made me laugh out loud. He said, the whole problem with the world is that fools and fanatics are always so certain of themselves, and wiser people are so full of doubts. I'm like, has this guy been on LinkedIn? Has this guy been on LinkedIn recently? The whole problem with the world is that fools and fanatics are always so certain of themselves, and wiser people are so full of doubts. That literally made me laugh and then made me really excited. Why? Because I am one of those people who has way too many doubts. I come up in the category of the wiser people. And then I was reminded by the Ed Lattimore quote, which says that someone out there with half your IQ is earning 10 times more than you because they're not smart enough to doubt themselves. Can you see how much doubt robs us of? Don't get me wrong, I am not telling you to be gullible, to not, doubt has incredible strategic advantages. It enables us to it's a great, cognitive dissonance detector. It really helps us to have a look at, does the math here? It helps us to ask ourselves, is this really what we need to do? Doubt is incredibly useful if we use it as part of the journey rather than the leader of it. If you lead with doubt, doubt will kill your dreams. If you lead with skepticism and cynicism, it will keep you small. And I kind of have it in mind that you're not here to be small. You're not here to have your dreams thwarted by your doubts. It would be so great when I'm live streaming if I could actually get the words beyond my teeth today. You're not here for the doubt. You're not here to be stopped by doubt. You're not here to be shrunk by cynicism. It is a tool on the journey, not a leader of it. Hola from Portugal to Sharon Bailey. So good to see you, awesome lady. Tina says doubt is also because of non-clarity. Absolutely. So when you are unclear and you have doubt, then you use it as a trigger to seek clarity rather than to stop. I love that, Tina. Thank you so much for sharing that because it is so important. I'm not saying never have doubts, but the truth about doubt is that it is a valuable tool, but if you pull it in the wrong place, it will scupper the entire mission. It is an incredibly valuable, powerful, useful tool for your success. But if you put it in the wrong place, it will scupper the mission before it even starts. So yes, doubt has incredible value. Make no mistake. Make no mistake. It is part of the journey and it is here for good. Doubt also shows you, though, that you are going into uncertain spaces. And that is evidence and proof of celebration. You need to celebrate that. Because why is there uncertainty? Because you're growing, because you're changing, because you're raising your standards. Don't forget, ladies and gents, I say this a number of times, but I'm going to say it again today. Nothing has meaning except the meaning we give it. Challenge that we have is that we weren't given the story of doubt that we have now. We didn't choose it, we accepted it. And so we get to choose a deliberate and powerful story and a new meaning about what doubt gets to me. When I have doubts, I ask a question. If I have more doubts, I ask more questions. When I have further doubts, I interrogate, I investigate. What I don't do is feel like proud that I'm doubting and then stop. No way. Nope, nope, nope. And that's the thing. Doubt has this way of making us feel really smug. Like we've discovered something that no one else knows. Oh, everyone thinks this. But I know better because I'm a cynic. But that's the thing. Would you rather be right? Or would you rather to have the success that you want? Because success and the success that you want and the success that I want doesn't come from usual, common, regular, sensible, realistic. That's not the realm in which your dreams and the things that you want lay. But that's the realm that doubt dabbles in on an ongoing basis. So I want to offer you a actionable tip. The powerful truth I shared was that doubt will kill more dreams than failure ever will. And I want to offer you an actionable tip to ask yourself, in the thing that you are deliberating on, procrastinating in, the thing that you're supposed to have gotten done ages ago and you haven't done, what role is doubt playing in that pause? What role is doubt playing in that pause? And are you willing to allow doubt to keep you stuck if it is? Are you willing to allow doubt to lead the charge if it is? Are you willing to allow doubt to write the story if it is? Because doubt, as I said, is incredibly powerful. It leads you to ask better questions. It helps you to make sense of the unfamiliar that you're looking at. It helps you to recognize patterns. It helps you to interrogate further. I am a big fan of doubt. And yet, it is so important to use it advantageously, to use it as a trigger to ask due diligence questions, to identify your learning edge and map out where your doubts are most strong to help you to understand how you learn and the way that you think. It helps you to really think about scenario planning and to really focus on many eventualities, not just the one. But don't let doubt derail your dreams. Like, you'll feel good for feeling like, I'm this like sensible intellectual cynic, but honestly, I don't know many of them. Tell a lie, I know a few. And what I do know about them is nobody is cynical and really that happy. No one is cynical and actually making the successes that they want. They don't lead with doubt, they use doubt. And so allow yourself to do the same. Right, ladies and gents, that is everything I wanted to share with you today. Thank you so, so much for joining me live. I really, really appreciate it. Please jump into the chat, share your biggest takeaway. And if you are around on LinkedIn later, I am going to be switching venues shortly. I'm going to be live over on, I believe the page has been put up by the host of Entrepreneur Business Live. His name is Richard Moore. And I'm going to be on a live panel in a live venue in just a couple of hours' time. And we start at 4:00. I will tag, in fact, I will leave a post up on my page for you to be able to find it. But yeah, if this has been really helpful to you, please share your biggest takeaway, slide into my DMs, come and talk to me more about the role that doubt is playing. I have so many people who are being led by doubt, and they actually just need to use the doubt and to move through it. But in the meantime, take care, have a fabulous rest of your day. I look forward to seeing you in the spaces. Take care, have a good one. And